What's up? It's the Brunch Breakdown Super Bowl edition. Actually, we're just going to call this show the Usher Breakdown until further notice. That's what we're going to call it. It's Didi out here in Los Angeles. Dan is in Pittsburgh. Chris is in Pittsburgh too. And we're going to hear from him here in a couple seconds. But Dan, let everybody know where they can find this Super Bowl edition of the Brunch Breakdown and every other episode and video we've ever done.
AKA the Usher Breakdown for the rest of time. And they can find that, and formerly known as the Brunch Breakdown, anywhere podcasts are available, people. You could just search Brunch Breakdown. Maybe you can search Usher Breakdown, and who knows, maybe we'll pop up from here moving forward. But any of the major and minor podcast streaming services, we're there. Trust us, we're there. Make sure you're just hitting follow or subscribe, so the new episodes that come out each and every Wednesday are coming straight to you. Make it nice and easy for you. We've got full video episodes to go along with the audio. If you want to see our beautiful faces, some of the things that we talk about, I have some important visuals that are not worth missing. So check out the full video episodes as well. Those also come out on Wednesdays. They premiere at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on YouTube and Facebook. On demand anytime you want to watch after that. And basically anytime on Spotify. Starting Wednesday afternoon. Let's just call it that way. Wednesday afternoon, available video episodes also available on Spotify. We're everywhere on social media, Facebook, the X, Instagram, Threads, Triller, TikTok. We're at Brunch Breakdown, all those places. Follow us, we follow you back. And we're even talking, a little bit of Usher today and a lot of music, as we always do. So we put that all together in a little Sounds of Brunch playlist, is what we call it. It's exclusively available on Spotify. It gets updated each and every Friday. That's what we're listening to last week, what we got for you this week. Just tell Alexa or simply search on Spotify, Sounds of Brunch.
No doubt. Also, we're talking all things halftime, all things commercial. At some point, we may mention the game. That's up to Dan if he wants to do that or not. And honestly, maybe Chris is going to mention the game because we're talking all things Super Bowl, and we're going to hear from him right now. Here's Christopher Gates.
Boys, what's going on? Chris here. I am sorry I cannot make it to record the episode with you today. I really like recapping the Super Bowl with Yins, so this sucks. But scheduling, got a little bit weird, couldn't work out. So I wanted to just check in with a quick message about the Super Bowl, football season, whatever. And I have one overarching thought, and I guess it's going to lead to a question. But I think this actually might have been my least favorite football season of my life. And so I'm curious to hear how you guys felt the football season was. I think Usher's halftime performance might have been the best moment of the entire thing. Because I really thought the Steelers were going to be good. I really thought that Kenny Pickett was going to be good, and none of that that didn't happen. I really thought Pitt was going to be good, and never have I been more wrong. And all along the way, coaches got fired, players left teams in college. There's the transfer portal, and the situation's so bad that college coaches now don't want to coach in college, so they're all leaving. It's I think bit like the Steelers. They made the playoffs, but nobody thought anything was happening there. This, I think, was the worst Pitt football season of my almost 37 years on planet Earth. So, thank you, Usher, for bringing back way more people than I thought was going to happen. I did not think Dan and I talked last week about cameos, who all is going to be, who might Usher bring back. And I was like, will.i.am, I think makes sense. And then he was like, how about everybody? Usher was like, how about everybody? Which was awesome. That performance was great. And I really enjoyed it. And also on top of the pro football season, I couldn't watch a football game without people talking about Taylor Swift. And I don't even hate Taylor Swift. But you know what? This season made me kind of annoyed with her. Because she just can I watch a football game? Because that's the entertaining thing to me. I just really didn't enjoy this football season. And I hope next season is better. But maybe along the way, we can have more special halftime performances. During the regular season to just in case it's as bad or worse next year than it was this year for me, this is all about me. Maybe we could just have some special halftime performances to watch. And I don't mean like dogs catching frisbees, okay? I mean like relatable to the Usher performance. I don't know what I mentioned at the beginning that there's like an overarching point. I don't know what it was. I guess it's that I didn't like this football season, but I liked Usher. I guess that's my point. So I'm sure you guys are going to talk about what you thought of Usher's performance. So I look forward to that. And I'm also curious to hear where you would rate this football season for you, maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe like where it is near your best or your worst. Like the Browns weren't dog shit, so that's good for Dede, right? West Virginia beat Pitt, so that's good for Dede, right? I guess just for me and Dan specifically, it wasn't very good. So I'm interested to hear about that from you boys. And yeah. Also, Reba said brave twice. So what does that mean for the over? I picked the over, and she was like, brave, brave. What does that mean? Did I get it? Did I get it? Let me know.
The one and only.
That was beautiful. Let's go to prop bets. Let's do prop bets. He mentioned a lot of them there. That was beautiful, Chris. And speaking of Reba, how did we do?
So
Over, under?
yeah, a lot of really interesting what really interesting with what happened with Reba. There were some very controversial decisions that had to be made. So let's start right there. As Chris mentioned, there was a brave and then there was a second brave. So what most sports bets initially called, they called it under, which would have given you were the only one that called under. But then they basically took it off the board and said everybody's winning. They're taking over and they're taking under because of the second brave. And it was close. It was close as it was if there was only one. So we're calling that winners for everybody because we're going to go with the official Vegas ruling there. Everybody won on the brave over under 3.5 seconds. So Chris, I don't know if that makes it good for you, if it helps, but we're going with Vegas rules and that's what Vegas says, but no one prepared for the pause and the second brave. Now this one might be a little controversial as well. Based on your feedback, Dede, will Reba McEntire show cleavage during the national anthem? Chris said yes. You and I said no. The ruling was no. The ruling was no. And I think you felt like you saw something there.
Okay, see, here's the thing. Whenever they flew in to Reba, the overhead shot.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah.
The sky cam shot was cleavage.
Sure.
Then when they went to what showed her for the national anthem, you couldn't see anything. It was low cut, but you couldn't see anything.
Right.
But if you can see cleavage from above, so if you're Shaq standing next to Reba, because I don't know how tall Reba is. So maybe I'm 6'1", maybe I would have seen cleavage on Reba. I'm not sure, okay?
Sure.
Is it cleavage if only somebody taller than Reba can see it? Because I saw that the ruling was no, but I'm also like, wait, I saw cleavage at the top.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know if people thought that she was going to wear like her, like, no, her like tits weren't just going to be out. Like, no, that wasn't going to be the case.
Right.
They don't know what people thought, but like, what I thought was funny was like before the game, she had posted like her in his fur coat, and I was like, we got this one. No cleavage. We got it. And then she came out with that black top, and I was like, whoa, wait. So I don't know. Vegas was, I think prop bets had a bad night, honestly. They had a weird night.
Tricky one. Two very tricky scenarios just based around Reba. So you and I technically were correct in saying no. Maybe it's an eye level ruling. Maybe that's what they judge it based off of is eye level. But you're right. But cleavage much more likely above in any scenario.
Yeah.
But
Skycam says otherwise.
Yeah, Skycam did say otherwise. So there you go. Those are the most controversial ones to start. Another one that was going to be controversial had to go to the replay booth to find out what happened here, jump forward to the end of the game, the Gatorade color bath. Now, it didn't get shown on television, and it appeared that it didn't even happen. And my thought was, going back to what I said last week, this is a good idea. He's a 65-year-old man who gets bumped and hip checked in the middle of the game, by the way. Maybe an ice cold bath isn't the smartest thing to do after all this. It did happen on his way up to the podium right before he was up there. They cleared it. It went out on NFL, broadcast that on their X account. And Dee, I can report, you and I were correct. It was purple. We did have purple Gatorade. We got a nice little winnings on that one. So Chris went with yellow. You and I went with purple. We're winners again.
Big win. I was like, it's not going to be red. There's not going to be any other colors in there that have the teams in there. And I was like, Kobe statue, purple.
There you go. There you go.
That's what I went
I like it. I like it. Will the power go out during the game? We all took no, so we all won that one. Will an unauthorized person enter the field of play? I said no. You and Chris said yes at plus 300, and you did come through. We did have a streaker, at least what Jim Nance called a partial streaker, enter the field of play. You made some great points in the text message, in the Brunch Breakdown group text. All things considered, where it was and what year we're in, and that it was definitely going to happen. Wars going on. It's a presidential election year. So that was great thinking on your part. And so, yes, Chris Didi came away with the yes, unauthorized person entering the field of play.
Was he streaking for any reason? Did we ever
never
find that
found
out?
that
I
out.
saw
Never
the
found that
video
out.
and I didn't see him with like a sign. I didn't see anything painted on him or anything
Right.
like that. Because my whole reasoning for there being a streaker was like, it's an election year. We've got wars going on. We've got, it's just, there's a bunch of stuff going on where there's going to be, that just felt like there was going to be some kind of protest of some sort.
Yep.
But I didn't see or hear anything about that's why he was doing it. And so then I just was disappointed that he didn't go full nude, because I was like, bruh, what are you doing? You just got tackled shirtless. Like, you're not even a good video for anyone.
Right.
Like, you just, what? Like,
at least make the person that's having to tackle you like think twice about how they're coming in and the angle that they're coming in.
Yes. Make everybody uncomfortable in the whole stadium if you're going to go for it. Like, if you're going to go for it with no reason other than I figured out how to get onto the field, dude, you can't just go shirtless.
Yeah. If you're spending a night in jail, go all in, go all out.
Go all in.
Yeah.
Get your picture all over
be committed.
The world. Like,
be committed to it.
That's not you in jeans with no shirt. What?
Yeah. No, not good enough. Not good enough.
Weak. His parents have to be so disappointed.
The Drake Super Bowl curse. Which team apparel will Drake be wearing on Super Bowl Sunday? This was what I thought was an easy one. Chiefs. Right? You and I went Chiefs. Chris went 49ers for some reason. Chiefs, the winner there, of course. So you and I kind of getting neck and neck here as we move into really, we're going to get into the halftime bets here, because that could be a nice little segue. But there was the big one at the end. Las Vegas is invaded by aliens, and the game ends in a tie. I think we all threw money in on that one, figuring what the hell, why not? There was a moment in the game when the extra point was doinked and missed, and all of a sudden we eventually got to 19-19 in the second half, and I go, well, there it is. Now we're tied. It was setting up beautifully. Remember, because we talked about that last week. I said, they don't just say aliens invade and the game ends, or is it a forfeit, or game ends in a tie. Well, if it was needed to be a tie, it was a tie. So we were just waiting for it to come down, but no big money on that one, unfortunately.
I thought about it when it went to overtime. I did think about it. I didn't think about it at 16-16. I did think about it. I did think about it at overtime. I was like, oh boy, this will be the great moment that it happens. Just at the coin toss.
Right.
Something just comes down,
That'd
shuts it off.
That'd have been it.
That'd have been it.
Now we get into what we're really here to talk about, and that's the halftime performance. A number of prop bets for halftime. First song to be performed. Chris and I picked OMG. Dee picking Love in This Club. Nobody winning that bet. I don't even think I had they even showed the odds, so they were deep for what he actually started with. So that was a little surprising.
So here's what I thought about that. He started off, his first song that he performed was Caught Up, but the first song you heard was My Way.
My Way.
So
yeah.
did My Way win the bet?
I think it probably did. I didn't check that official rate call on that, but that's what first song to be performed. Yeah. But you're right. It was quick.
Yeah. And because he was sitting in the throne. When he got off the throne, he performed Caught Up.
Yeah.
But like you heard like the opening of My Way, but he wasn't singing it. So
right. So it's hard. Yeah, it's gonna be hard what they went on that based on perform, but neither of those songs were in the top 6 in terms of odds. Okay. So there was some serious money to be made there. And neither of us came out on top of that one. What color would Usher's shirt be to begin the halftime show? Chris and you, Dee, you both went blue. I went red. We were all wrong. White everywhere. White at the second favorite odds, plus 250. We didn't come out on top there. We were just trying to get a little extra bonus, a little extra money on that one. Didn't quite happen there. Okay. Chris alluded to this a little bit earlier. Other performance odds for halftime show appearance must appear on stage with a microphone. Chris picked Will.i.am. I picked Ludacris. And Dee, you picked Lil Jon and Ludacris. Technically, we all won because those were all right. Those were all right. In fact, the top 4 favorite odds: Alicia Keys, Ludacris, Lil Jon, Will.i.am, all appearing amongst others. By the way, amongst others. But I guess we have to give you a little extra tip of the hat, Dee, that actually no, it's actually got to go to Chris. For Will.i.am had the longest odds out of anyone that we picked. Out of anybody that was picked, Will.i.am had the longest odds. Although you'd fool me that even tell me that was Will.i.am. I said we were watching it with some people. I said it looked like he got stung by a bee yesterday and was still not reacting well to it. And it was oof. Could have fooled me. Could have been anybody under there. So we'll call everybody the winners there, but maybe give Chris a little extra tip. He would have won more money in that one. And finally, will Usher expose a nipple on stage? Dan said no. Chris and Dee said yes, and were very correct. Very correct. Both were there and very, very prominent. And so, if you haven't been keeping track at home, in terms of amount of prop bets that were correct, Chris had 3, I had 4. Dee, you had 6. Congratulations. You are the winner of the Super Bowl prop bets game by the Brunch Breakdown. So I don't know what you would have won financially, but you won in our hearts here for everybody.
It's funny. The nipples, the shirts off thing, that all came from an interview I watched with Usher talking about how he mentioned Adam Levine. Someone asked him, "Will you be shirtless during the halftime?" And all he said was, I saw Adam Levine do it. And that was it. And he just kind of like laughed it off. And I was like, yeah, okay. Usher's 1000% taking his shirt off at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but I was like, he said, I saw Adam Levine do it, which reminded me of that being what everybody talked about on the internet the next day after Maroon 5 Super Bowl.
Yes, they did.
I was like, oh, yeah.
Yes, they did.
Well, Dan, do you have a brew with you?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I do.
All right. Well, all right. Just wanted to make sure because I know we got it's a fun episode. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. So this is kind of me passive aggressively like coming at you, Dan, for something that you told me you were going to do for me, but you didn't. So here's the thing. All right. So what I am sipping on is a little Smallman Street vodka from my friends at Wiggle. Okay. And I saw that they have this cool service. They have a distributor that they can ship stuff out all over the country or whatever, and it's a really cool service. And so I was like, let me buy this Smallman Street vodka. Siobhan likes vodka. Let's do this. And then I got some of their bourbon too, which I'll talk about next week. But gotta tell you, pretty tasty. Smallman Street vodka from my friends at Wiggle. I really like it. Good with mixing, good straight. I really enjoy this. So shouts to Wiggle and Dan, who owes me a bottle of Maggie's Farm. It's time. So get on it.
I have it. It's in possession. It's figuring out the logistics and the transport. That's the challenge.
Well,
because if it
here's
were
a
to
person you
not
should-
make it there successfully,
it would be
be
devastating.
devastation.
Devastating.
So we're working it out, determining if we trust one of the great carriers of this country to deliver it to you, or do we do our best to bring it with us when we come out to LA in what is hopefully not very long. So
I feel like
that would be the
like
latest you get it.
That is 100% the safest.
Definitely.
That's the safest. That's
But
actually
can you
the
wait that
safest
long?
bet.
Yeah, because that's maybe
yes.
just a few months
Yes.
at most until you have that. But we definitely have it for you.
Yes, I can wait that long. But yes, I can absolutely wait that long. I feel like that is the safest. When you mention it, when you say it that way,
Yeah.
when you say it in the way of our great carriers in this country. Interesting is that Siobhan just bought like a storage, like a wooden storage shelf thing for like the kids' playroom, and like it came like half broken.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. And like
okay.
that bottle, that's it. That's all. I can't go get another one.
No,
They're
that's
gone.
it. And
that's it. So that's why I'm more concerned about it. We'll get it to you.
I hear you.
We'll get it to you. Well, I brought a heavy hitter here from speaking of, we're talking GOATs a lot on this episode. Patrick Mahomes, Usher, and in my personal opinion, GOAT, greatest brewery for me, Zool Beer Company. I've talked about them. Knoxville, Tennessee, had one of these bad boys. Had to take it. Welcome to Bedrock. It's a coconut marshmallow creamsicle smoothie sour.
Okay.
Oh, baby.
Okay.
Do they know what they are doing? This is why they are the greatest brewery, in my opinion. It's just, it is, you get everything there. You get the creamsicle and this, light, fruity coconut and that sweetness from the marshmallow, and it's thick and it's creamy and it's super tasty. Heavy hitter here. We're talking Super Bowl, so I had to bring out one of the best from Zoll Beer Company. If you're ever near Knoxville, Tennessee, stop by my friends. Tell them I said hello.
Dude, wow. That is a lot. ABV, what we got?
Ooh, good question. 6.7.
Oh, okay.
So we're fine. Cool. That's a good moderate level.
Right.
6.7.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah. Totally acceptable. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, cheers, Dan.
Cheers.
All right. Well, let's get into the main menu, which is the halftime show. Usher's halftime performance. And so I'm going to tell you this. I left that sore because I was on my feet dancing with Usher the whole time. Like the whole time. And like, I gotta tell you, dude, like because Siobhan went to one of the kids' friends' houses and watched the Super Bowl over there. Mayhem was asleep. So it's just me, Wingstop, and Usher.
Wow.
Dude, nothing better. And so right before halftime, as you guys know, I was like counting down. If you follow me on social media, I was literally saying, we got 2 hours to Usher. We got an hour to Usher. We're about 20 minutes to Usher, guys. And as soon as it like close to halftime, because like 49ers kneeled to go in the half, I was up stretching. I was ready, getting the Achilles ready, getting the ankles ready. I was ready to go because that is how hyped I was for this halftime show. And it didn't disappoint. I was just nervous that maybe the set list was going to be wrong. Maybe I don't know what I thought. I thought maybe the guest appearances, because I knew there were going to be some. I didn't know how they were going to be. So I was like nervous, like I was getting ready for the finals, game 7 or something. And it was incredible. Like, he is the greatest performer of all time. Here's why. And I'm going to say it right now.
Ooh.
You know why? Because when you think of great performers in the history of music, you know what you think of? You think of them, and you also think of the groups they were a part of. Beyonce, Destiny's Child. Michael Jackson, Jackson 5. Justin Timberlake, NSYNC. All these other people, they all had groups. It's just been Usher the whole goddamn time. It's just him. Just him. And goddamn it, did he kill it. And there are so many songs that he didn't do last night that
Right.
I'm like, can we have him back next year to do the rest? Can we just not have somebody else next year and just have Usher come do the just side B of the halftime show? That's what we need. Just incredible last night. Everything about it, the dancing, the roller skating, everything about it was, because dude, I knew he was going to do the roller skating because that's part of the Vegas show.
Okay.
But to do that on national TV with the fact that you could be memed until oblivion. Dude, just the confidence to do that is just ridiculous, dude. It was amazing.
His entrance in that segment, that part of it, was timed right with the camera, and her is right there, and it wasn't like, oh, he just found his way back up and skated. It was like, no, it was choreographed to happen at this place, this moment, between these other two roller skaters. That was crazy impressive. The dancing with them, I mean, it was unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. You make an interesting point, Bear, about the greatest performers of all time. And those are literally the three that I was thinking, or the three that you named. And yeah, groups, but not the man, not Usher. No.
Dude.
Been him since day one. And I mean, to be in that shape at that age, ladies and gentlemen, holy cow. Forget about Adam Levine. Forget about it. I mean, just iconic. That performance was absolutely iconic from start to finish. And there was so much to it, but at the same time, it was like, this is stripped down to what I came to expect of a Super Bowl halftime performance. Give me a stage, give me you, give me dancing, put on that show. I don't need this over production version of something like that. He's just that talented, and that's all you needed in that moment for that halftime. I mean, Love in This Club with the marching band was, I had chills with that. That was unbelievable. Now, we mentioned the prop bet on guest appearances, etc. I'm going to go back to your text message, Didi, when you were giving us your answer, when you said Lil Jon and Ludacris, and you said at the end, and that better be it. I want to take you now. Hindsight 2020. Did you think there were too many guest appearances, or were you happy that you saw who you saw?
I was happy I saw who I saw because they all made sense.
Okay.
They all made sense. So that's the thing that I was nervous about. What I didn't want was a you know how Madonna brought out MIA and Nicki Minaj or whatever?
Yeah.
For what? And how Missy Elliott had to come in and save Katy Perry's set. There's nothing safe. There's nothing that mixes them together. So it was cool to have Alicia Keys get that moment. She's not performing halftime at the Super Bowl at any time. National Anthem, America the Beautiful, whatever. She'll sing those. She's not going to be singing at halftime. So it was cool to get a little bit of I Ain't Got You. Even though she did butcher the first note, which, damn, that's got to suck. You had 5 notes of I Ain't Got You, and you fucked up the first one, so that has to suck. But Anyways, it was cool to have her get that moment and come in as the big attachment to her dress or whatever. And then they did My Boo. It makes sense. They do songs together. Having Jermaine Dupri in a questionable outfit just come on and talk, I was cool with that. Like Jermaine Dupri is a part of that time period. It's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't need Will.i.am, but like he's on the song. Like fine. Like he brought Usher to the Super Bowl. Usher brought him to the Super Bowl. That's cool. It's nice to know these people are still living. Like I'm like, hey, Will.i.am, I ain't seen you in a minute, dude.
Yep.
So it was cool. And the way he brought out her was just like awesome. Like
Amazing.
she just comes out because she does everything. So it was just cool to have her just come out just with the guitar, just killing it and do 2 songs. Like that was fun. It just all the like as many guest appearances there were, they all made sense. They weren't just like stupid. Like I would have thought a stupid one would have been bringing out Justin Bieber, which a lot of people on the internet wanted. And I'm like, but they would be coming out to do Bieber's song. This is Usher's halftime show. Also, Usher probably said, hey, Bieber, got this idea. And he was like, but here's the thing. You got to cut your hair and take a shower. And Justin was like, I'm too rich for that. And just said, I'll see you there, Usher. See you there. That's what I think happened with Justin Bieber for everybody that was sad about it. Like, that guy has not cut his hair or taken a shower in 8 years.
Right. It's true. That's true. Yeah, anybody that had an opinion about that or just a general negative opinion about the show in general, I saw this tweet right after the game. I don't have who it was by. It was nobody famous, but it perfectly sums it up that if you've never illegally downloaded any of the songs you heard tonight on LimeWire, I don't want your opinion of the halftime show. And I mean,
yes,
perfect.
100%. 100%. Like, no, 100%.
If you're of the older generation or you're Gen Zer and you're not all that familiar with Usher, then your opinions, frankly, don't matter in this situation because you saw one of the greatest halftime shows that you're ever going to see in the history of time. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Yeah, it's like you can debate which is the greatest of all time. That's subjective between whatever music that you like and who you grew up with or whatever. Like people love the Prince halftime show and all that. People love Beyonce, and I'm partial to. I really loved Beyonce, Coldplay, Bruno Mars halftime show. I just loved it. I thought it was like really cool how they did that. But like this one is my favorite one that I've ever seen. This is it. This is it. Because if you go back, you can watch all these on YouTube and decide. Everyone loves the Michael Jackson one, mainly because it was the first one, and he does, and there's some cool things with fake Michael up here, fake Michael up here. There's a fake Michael at the top of the stadium, whatever. But like, he stands there for half the performance, and people just cheer. Like, if you go and watch it on YouTube, it's not all that great. Like, I'm just letting you know, it's just not all that great. It's just, it was the first one, and it's Michael Jackson, so I get why people love it. But like, this is everything you wanted. And like, if you were watching that with people who were younger or something, let's say you have a kid who was 13 or something and knew nothing about Usher. Some of Usher songs are like double their age. And like, if they're watching it, they're like, this is cool. All right, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
You know, not saying they're going to be big Usher fans. All I'm saying is like, they get it. And like, that was what I thought was the coolest part about it was like, if you didn't know an Usher song, you were like, holy shit, that was incredible.
You're like, yeah, I get it. I respect that. You respect him as a performer, as a musician, as a dancer, all of that. And I mean, yeah, it was middle school for a lot of us all over again. Middle school, high school, that whole era. Dude's been putting out music for a long, long time, and hit after hit. And like you said, there's some songs he didn't play.
Yeah, dude, there are a lot of songs he didn't play.
Yeah,
like all the whole set list was like 2001 to like 2010. And so nothing from the 90s, nothing from 2010s. He didn't perform any snippets from the new album. He didn't perform any like small portions of the new album. Like Good is a #1 song on like R&B radio, like top 40 hit like today, like right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, and here's the thing. I didn't want that. So I'm happy that didn't happen. I was very nervous. Like when you see all the prop bets and it was like 21 Savage, I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want it, guys. I don't want it. So that was one of the things that made me super happy. It's all the things like I wanted, I got. So, yeah, dude. And Love in This Club. I was so hyped for that song. And with the marching, man, come on, dude. It just,
Can't get any
Like
better.
seeing Little
honestly.
John, having Ludacris get the stage like that, like, and he had the old school Ludacris fro from that time.
Yeah,
Like, come
yeah.
on. Like, come on. I don't even know if that was really Ludacris's hair because I don't know if Luda's got that much hair now. Regardless, it worked out and it was
Right.
cool. It was cool.
It did. It did. I mean, it you couldn't have asked for anything more, and it was perfect, and it was Vegas, and it was
Oh,
everything. It's going to
yes.
be hard to top that one moving forward. I think it'll be something we talk about for a long time. That halftime performance, Usher, the man.
Okay, so we talked halftime. Now let's talk about the other most important thing of the Super Bowl.
Yes.
The commercials. Dan, I will tell you what my favorite commercial was. I'll tell you what my favorite 2 commercials were right off top. The Kia commercial with the girl ice skating, and she like wins her tournament. She's sad her grandparents aren't there. So her dad takes her out to her grandparents, and they have a pond that's frozen. And he brings out this boombox, and they perform for her grandfather who's watching from the window. And he puts 10 on the window. That's like, he just like draws it all like on the window in like the tears. It's freaking incredible. Shouts to Kia.
Okay.
I'm in the process of looking for a hybrid SUV right now, and I gotta tell you, Kia might be back in my life after that.
Well, how about that? Okay, I was gonna say one time
might
more.
be back in my life. Might be back in my life after that commercial. Like, holy hell! Like, good God, guys, just come on. And then the Dunkin' commercial, like friggin' Ben, J-Lo, they do it again. They do it again. Tom Brady, Jack Harlow for like 2 seconds. Like, just fun. Matt Damon, just so much fun. And I want one of those tracksuits, like, bad.
I know.
So bad.
That's literally the first
bad.
thing I thought of when I saw that commercial was over. I was like, I gotta Google this and see if they're gonna be selling these things. The Dun Kings, by far my favorite of Tom Brady sneaking in there too. Just,
dude, come on.
Like really, really awesome. Just really well, money well spent by Duncan. And they've been kind of like leading up, Ben Affleck's been in a couple of Duncan commercials now. Even had Ice Spice was in one. And there's recent ones where he kind of like, it was this story leading up to it. And it was just incredible. Definitely my favorite of the night. Boy, there were some other, I'm trying to think of my second favorite was probably, I think I'm going to give it to the Uber Eats one where it was celebrity filled, where you remember that Uber Eats can basically deliver anything, but you have to forget something in order to remember that. And, you had David Schwimmer and Jennifer Aniston were the big players in that, but there were a lot of other celebrities throughout. Jelly Roll, forgetting that he had tattoos on his face. That was very, very clever. That one was really well done. That'd probably be my top 2.
Yeah. The only thing, dude, I wondered because the Friends cast always kind of makes fun of themselves a lot, right?
Yeah.
So like that was funny to me. I thought it was really funny, but like I just wonder, like, do you think they called up like they're like NSYNC? You guys are like back together. You think like it'd be funny if Justin was like, don't remember you guys?
Yeah. Like who said no?
Yeah. JC for sure.
Right. Like hell no. You kidding me?
JC was not having any of that whatsoever. I feel like Lance and Joey might have been game, but like even them, I don't know. They might not have been game either. I feel like it's not a fun thing for them to talk about. But I just felt like that would have been a funny way to do that commercial also. But no, I really like that one. Beyonce doing this weird commercial with her doing weird things, and then which was like kind of out of character for Beyonce. So that was kind of cool. It was just like, kind of self-deprecating, which was fun. And then she just goes, dropping, all right, whatever, drop the new music. And then she dropped new music.
I mean, it was,
I thought it was a joke.
We were watching with people and everybody just had this look on their face. Like, are you serious? Is this real?
Yeah.
And we're all on our phones. Nothing yet. We kept going, nothing yet, nothing yet, nothing yet. And then all of a sudden, boom, songs, album announcement, country music. Yeah. What's going on? Crazy. And it was like, oh yeah, she had a hat on at the Grammys. She had like a cowboy hat on the Grammys. It was like, oh, putting it all together. That was wild. Yeah, very kind of out of character for Beyonce, but very sneaky good. It was a good Verizon commercial. Yeah, you didn't like the major players, the beer. Beer, Doritos are usually the favorites, and didn't really come through all that successful. Bud Lights was fine with the genie, and then they come back to the game and they're there. So that was okay, but the CeraVe commercial with Michael Cera was like the most out of left field thing I've ever seen. And like, you wouldn't think, you really need some, a moisturizer to spend $7 million on a 30-second ad during the Super Bowl, but it's CeraVe with Michael Cera, and like now I'll always remember that one.
See, and it worked in that way, right? So
Yeah.
it's funny. I all because of like algorithms and stuff. There's this podcaster, her name's Bobby Altoff. She got really popular over the like last year interviewing Drake and a bunch of other celebrities with her like deadpan thing. She interviewed him, and and she asked him that, and it was fully set up for this commercial.
Okay.
So because it was it was a TikTok clip, and it just like kind of went viral where it was like she asked him that, and it was like really awkward, and he walked off set. Like asked him, "Are you behind CeraVe?" And I was like, and I thought that was really funny. So when I saw the commercial, it just didn't pay off for me that way. I was like, I like, because I love
already
the
funny.
Yeah, I saw something that I thought was already funny, and I think because it shocked me in that way.
Right.
So if I would have saw the commercial first, I think I would have thought the commercial was better.
Yes.
But I just thought like the randomness of it and him getting like real awkward was like, wait, CeraVe, Sarah. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny. And yeah, so so it's like, not that I hated the commercial. It was just like,
almost a little spoiled. Yeah.
But the worst commercial, and I'm not going to talk about the He Gets Us commercial. Even though, dude, religious groups, political groups, guys, 7 million on ads, 14 million on ads, 28 million on ads. Guys.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
A lot of things going on in the world. Guys. Like, I have a hard time believing that anyone went to hegetsus.com and were like, I'm going to change my life while eating wings watching this.
Yeah. And if you do, please do your research. If you do, please do your research to know who's behind that, please.
Like, there's a lot of poor people in this country that need help. But the worst commercial, Popeyes with Ken Jeong. I was like, I'm out.
That was a letdown, wasn't it?
It was I don't know if I just was disappointed in Popeyes. I was disappointed in Ken Jeong. It just felt like they were doing two different commercials.
Right.
It just didn't work for me. I don't know. That was like the commercial that I was like, this is not. And I like Ken Jeong. I don't have a problem with Ken Jeong. I just was like, none of this is working. None of this makes me want to get Popeyes. Like, this is not working.
Never hit.
That was the worst one for me.
I agree. I completely agree with you. That one never hit. That had a lot of potential, and it just didn't come through. It just didn't work out. Speaking of groups that had multiple ads, is it Temu?
Oh, Temu. Because we learned how to say it.
Yeah, we learned how to say it. I was like, Shamu. They had 4, I think, $28 million.
Yeah.
It was the same commercial, and I don't know a whole lot about this group, but apparently they're known for stealing your information. And so it was like really ironic, right? And then everybody was like, it was all over internet, like, Temu stole, used your credit card to pay for the Super Bowl ads for 4 Super Bowl ads. Ugh, I didn't need that. I didn't need that.
So Temu is like Amazon, but like in another country. A lot of people get a lot of counterfeit things.
Yeah.
From a Temu. Like, and a lot of people, it's because when Siobhan came home, she was like, I mean, we laughed at that commercial, but I mean, I probably spent like $400 on Temu in the Temu shop like this year. And like, I know so many people that do that, and it's like a lot of fake Disney stuff on Temu, a lot of like just a lot of different things, like fake tennis shoes, fake whatever on Temu. And it was interesting seeing them get Super Bowl airtime. I was like, that's crazy. The place where people buy fake Yeezys is getting Super Bowl ads. I was like, this is weird. But yeah, that was a weird one. That was a weird one with
It
Tamo.
was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
And I'll give an honorary mention nod to Mountain Dew Baja Blast with Aubrey Plaza, and then the surprise Nick Offerman at the end there. Wow, you didn't like that one. Why?
Because I like all the people in that. I like Aubrey Plaza a lot.
Yeah, so
and
right.
I was disappointed.
Really?
Disappointed.
Yeah. But overall, like a pretty good year for commercials. The last 5 years have been a roller coaster of really bad and really good. And, thankfully, they're not all going to be great. If you're spending $7 million on a 30-second commercial, you're probably trying to save money on the advertising agency that you're using, right? You have to think of that. It's the advertising agency that most of these places are using to come up with the commercial. Feels like a lot of places went in-house because the ad cost so much. And they're like, it was like, man, this ad was not good. You spent $7 million on this ad. Man, you need to, step up the game and use a different ad agency next time.
Well, here's the thing. Let me go a little inside baseball for you.
Okay.
All right, so there were a total of 4 commercials that were aired last night that I auditioned for.
4.
And 4. There were 4. Varying levels of pay on these commercials, by the way. And there is one that, do not clip this off, Dan, because all right, but somebody hears it on minute 45 of the podcast, then whatever. I don't deserve to work for you. But there was a Poppy commercial, which is like the seltzer. That commercial paid not a lot of money to get Super Bowl airtime. I'm telling you that right now.
Wow.
And there are many things I've done for less. There are many things I've done for more money than that. And I was like, whoa. And that has exactly to do with what you said. This is the reason why I'm saying it, is because it used to be like, you booked a Super Bowl commercial. Woo, big deal. New. Maybe if you're Jennifer Aniston, they got her off her couch to do something cool. Right. But like everybody else in any regular people you saw in those commercials, it varies. Some up here, some just normal ass commercial. And you probably didn't even know you were in a Super Bowl commercial until your mom saw it on TV last night. Like, because I was shocked. Like, I text Siobhan immediately. I was like, dude, this is not right. Something's wrong here. But it goes to show you, it's like, if you're paying $7 million for an ad, that means everything is getting cut.
Yep.
And that's everybody. And so, it was that made for an interesting night.
I bet. Wow. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yes. But yeah, that Poppy commercial. It's not right. It's not right.
Oh, it's too funny.
Oh gosh. Well, any thoughts on the game?
So I'll say this: the game was entertaining, but that doesn't mean it was good football. So I was at least appreciative of that. So I was at least entertained by the game. I was bummed that the Chiefs won again. They're an extremely unlikable team. Travis Kelce, if you thought he was a good dude, he's a terrible human being. You saw what he did. That is not cool. That is not cool. If almost any other player would have done that to a 65-year-old man, he'd be getting raked over the coals today, win or loss. But because it's Travis Kelce, he can get away with all that stuff. That made me feel very uncomfortable.
Could you
save your passion speech, for me? I don't need that.
Do you understand that T.O. ended up being a 3rd ballot Hall of Famer? Even though he ended up in, when he ended his career, it was like it was like 3rd or 1st. It was like 3rd or 2nd in receiving yards and receptions and all this other stuff, right? Like it was him, Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, like those are the names. 3rd ballot Hall of Famer. 3rd ballot. They looked him over. Could you imagine if in that Super Bowl with the Eagles, he even accidentally bumped into Andy Reid, let alone yelled at Andy Reid and attacked Andy Reid? He wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. I'm telling you right now, he would be nowhere near the Hall of Fame, and everyone would have a reason. They would show that all the time. He may not have been in the NFL the next year. Like, that was ridiculous. And we're going to completely forget about that. Like, no one is going to be talking about that. No one is going to be saying anything about that for the rest of Travis Kelce's life. Like, that was a lot. And them laughing it off, like, you know, it's like, oh, you know, I just told him I loved him. You know, yeah, it's nothing. And them laughing about it. And I'm like, dude, it just really made me mad because that's just not, no. Like, I wish somebody would have taken accountability for that after the game, and that didn't happen. And that means it'll never happen. And that just really makes me mad. Like, we spent a whole week talking about George Pickens, a dude no one freaking knows, and talking about how he ruined the Steeler way.
Yeah.
and,
Absolutely.
And like, no one knows him. And he did nothing but not try to dive on a fumble or something, or not block for somebody. And people are like, oh God, he's the worst person of all time. Like,
but if he would have done that, he'd have been like cut. You know what I mean?
Dude.
It should not just be glossed over. I could not agree with you anymore. It's absolutely terrible that they just forget about it and laugh about it. And, oh, yeah. Tell me, I just, if he would have fell over, he was close to falling over. This is an unhealthy, overweight 65-year-old man that has trouble walking.
Yes.
Come on. Save it. Yeah. Save all that for me. But otherwise,
I'm like,
yeah, I mean, it's good to have a tight game, a close game. Overtime, we were all a little confused about the rules, and stuff like that. So were the 49ers. That's kind of rough. But you kind of knew what was going to happen. You knew if Patrick Mahomes had any chance with the ball in his hand that he was going to win the game. So, memorable Super Bowl. We'll say that.
Yeah, memorable Super Bowl. And I gotta say, Blake Lively, I mean, other than Usher, might have been the MVP. Like, Jesus
no
Christ.
doubt about it. Not enough people not enough people talking about what Travis Kelce did. Not enough people talking about Blake Lively and her appearance.
Every shot they went up to Taylor just went to Blake Lively, and I'm like, golly, just sheesh.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Shouts to Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Like, dude, shouts to you.
Congrats on all your success. Yeah.
Yes. Shouts to you. Oh yeah, Deadpool. Good. That's cool.
Right.
Whatever. All right. Well, let's get into music. Dan, for me, Usher put out his new album, Coming Home. It's really good. It's bloated like everything else because it's 20 songs. Why?
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be. Stupid. Yeah. There's a solid 12-song album in there, like fully solid 12-song album in there, but like make your own playlist if you will. A-Town Girl, you're a Billy Joel song. You're a Billy Joel fan, Dan.
Yeah.
You're a Billy Joel fan.
Oh yeah.
A-Town Girl is a jam. Is a absolute jam with him and Lotto. A-Town Girl's the one.
Okay. I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot. First one up for me. It's been a while since she's been on a playlist. It's been a while since she put out new music. 2 years almost. In fact, Girl in Red. Finally, we have new Girl in Red music. She put out a first single called Too Much. She's got a new album coming out, I think in April, late April. So excited for it. There is definitely some increased production on this song in particular. It doesn't concern me. I still like it, and I don't think the whole album will sound that way. So don't be alarmed. It's just a little bit more production than we're used to with Girl in Red, but Too Much. Great song. Glad to have her back.
Yes. Glad to have her back. Glad to see what she does next. Yeah. I mean, when somebody does such, becomes the talk of the town, it's like excited to see what she does next. So should be exciting. Beyonce put out 2 songs, Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages, and 16 Carriages is incredible. Putting that on the playlist. Texas Hold'em's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's fun. 16 Carriages is, woo. I don't know what we're getting out of this Beyonce country feeling album, but 16 Carriages is, oh, wow. A lot.
I like it. I like it. Second one for me is from David. And if you recall, or that name sounds familiar, I spelled D4VD. You know how I like my odd spellings, but he's made an appearance or 2 on the playlist before. Very up and coming, moody indie pop musician. Really like his stuff. He's got a new album coming out as well called Withering, and he dropped the second single off of it called Leave Her this past week. Really like it. And I think it's his first full length album coming up. Looking forward to that, but Leave Her from our boy, David.
All right. And I'm going to put more Usher on the playlist because it's deserved. Song that he did not play last night. You Make Me Wanna. Put that on the playlist this week because that's the song that basically started it all. So You Make Me Wanna, put that on the playlist.
There you go. My final song, it's also going to be from Usher. I don't know what, but you know what? I'm not going to tell you what it is yet because I need to give that massive album a chance and listen to it all the way through before I pick a song other than A-Town Girl. So I don't have that song yet because I want to make sure I get all the way through it because I know there's some good ones in there, right? I can't just stop through 8 or 9 and go, I got to pick one of those. So I promise you it'll be on the playlist by the time Friday comes around. Maybe by the time you're listening to this, there's going to be a lot of Usher this week.
Dude, yeah, a lot of Usher, and it's deservedly so. And I
mean,
I don't know. Coming Home is so good. Like I'm surprised. Like I don't know when somebody's this far in their career. I want a couple songs, want a few songs that are good, and I'm happy. But like this has a lot of meat to it, and it's good. So check it out.
Nice.
All right. Well, that's the Sounds of Brunch. Make sure you check it out on Spotify. You can listen to the podcast on Spotify. Then you can go over and listen to the Sounds of Brunch on Spotify as well.
Beautiful.
This has been the Usher Breakdown. And Dan, any final thoughts on the Usher Breakdown today?
Yeah, we led off with our co-host who wasn't able to join us here today, Chris, and realized we never really answered his question. And I feel like I need to do that. Yes, I believe, Chris, I'm with you. This was probably the worst year of football in my entire life. So glad that it's over and can, keep looking forward to next year. And hopefully don't have to say that much longer because, yes, us spoiled fans here in the Steel City are quite that spoiled with our college football and professional team. And it's about time we turn things around. So out with that, on with 2024. The draft will be here before we know it. You had a much better year, I'm sure, but historically bad for Chris and I.
Yeah. And my final thoughts are can't relate. That's the Brunch Breakdown. We're out.